Hey, Tina, you there? I just wanted to let you know that I'm really looking forward to tomorrow. We're finally going to get to meet your parents and we can talk about the engagement in person. It really feels like this has been a long time coming.
I know. I'm really happy that we're finally getting to make this official. My parents are really excited for it too. I just really hope that you get along with my dad when you two meet each other tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine. By the way, what does your dad do for a living again? And what college did he go to? I don't think my son ever told me.
Oh, and my dad didn't go to college. Actually, he dropped out of high school and only has his GED that he got later.
Wait, what? Are you serious? Your dad didn't even finish all 4 years of high school? What happened that things ended up like that?
Well, my dad comes from a really poor family, and basically he needed to work more than he needed an education at the time. I think it was because they were living with his grandma in the house, and so his family needed extra money to take care of everyone. But he worked hard and was able to leverage all of his working experience into being able to open up his own business. Honestly, I'm really grateful for all the hard work my dad has done to make his life and the lives of his family better.
Wow, I really had no idea about any of this at all. That's really crazy.
Yeah, but since both of our dads are so hardworking, I really do hope that they can get along well.
Let me get this straight. You're going to bring your uneducated dolt of a dad to my house tomorrow?
Wait, what? What do you mean by that? He's not uneducated. He's one of the best in his field.
I'm sorry, but if your dad couldn't even manage to finish high school, then I really can't see how he's anything but an idiot. I really had no idea the kind of person that your dad was, and I'm really disappointed in you. You've wasted mine and my son's time. I'm calling off this wedding. It's clear to me that you're not good enough to be with my son if this is the kind of family that you come from.
Hold on a second. You can't just decide that for yourself. That decision is between Dave and I. And just why do you care what kind of education my dad had when he clearly managed to make something of his life?
Because I can tell everything I need to know about someone from just their education. And you know, I looked into your background too. I was disappointed, but not crushed. But now that I know this about your father, I'm afraid I'll have to call it all off.
Sir, please do not talk that way about my father. I really respect him, and you're not being fair at all. I understand that you're Dave's father, but you are being horribly rude to me right now.
So what? Who cares if I'm being rude to some idiot's daughter? Why don't you open your eyes and realize where you're standing right now?
Ron, you really need to stop this right now. You are taking all of this way too far. I mean, I really don't think that my dad's education level should have anything at all to do with me marrying your son. Do you really think that you can know all that you need to just from looking at someone's schooling? I really do think you're going to want to wait until tomorrow to hear about how my dad managed to turn his life around. I'm sure that once you have the full story that you'll change your mind and see how great my dad is.
What is this, some kind of cult or something? Because I don't need to hear any kind of story to be swayed. Besides, you're not going to be coming over tomorrow, and there isn't going to be any meeting.
I'm sorry, but we've had this scheduled for a long time. Dave and I are going to be getting married, and as our parents, you all are going to meet.
Is this really the way you want to start your relationship with your future father-in-law?
Please, Ron, I would really appreciate it if you could just wait until tomorrow before jumping to conclusions about my dad. Dave, are you there? I was just talking to your dad, and for some reason he was really hung up on my dad not finishing high school.
Wait, what? Sorry, where's all this coming from all of a sudden?
Tomorrow, Dave! I'm talking about our meeting tomorrow! Your dad just reached out to me and got really mad to find out my dad didn't even finish high school. He was calling him all sorts of names and just being generally horrible.
Ugh, did he really? But I'm not surprised, but I'm so sorry that he reached out to you just to tell all that to you. Yes, unfortunately my dad is an elitist. There's really no other way to put it. Even when I was little, he was always telling me that I'd be nothing if I didn't go to the best schools. I mean, I had to get therapy after I moved out of the house to undo some of the harm that had caused me growing up. But I didn't think he'd subject other people to his purity test.
Oh, Dave, I had no idea this was such an issue with your dad. I'm sorry that you had to go through that.
I know, but that's all in the past. I just can't believe that he would say that about the father of the woman I'm going to marry.
Well, what do you think we should do about this? Do you want to cancel the meeting tomorrow? Your dad sounded like he wasn't all that interested in meeting my parents after our talk.
Well, no matter what he says, it isn't going to change the fact that we're getting married. I'm not going to let my dad's bigotry get in the way of that. I'll tell you that much. Let me talk to him and try to smooth all this out. Of course, I won't tell him what your dad actually does for a living. We can wait for tomorrow for him to find out himself.
Thanks for doing that, Dave. I know that my dad likes to tell his story himself so that it doesn't get misconstrued or anything.
Of course, I completely understand. I'll tell my dad to cool it on being so judgmental. I'm sure that he'll be really surprised when he finally meets your dad and talks to him a bit about what he does. I mean, even I was shocked after I met your dad and got to know him a bit better.
Everyone seems to react that way, but it's so weird because to me, he's just my dad. Of course, I have a lot of respect for him, but at the end of the day, he's my dad first, you know?
It makes perfect sense to me, but I really can't wait to see the look on my dad's face when he realizes who your dad really is. Maybe that'll finally knock some sense into him.
I guess we can only hope so.
I knew I was right to be suspicious, and yet you insisted on dragging your deadbeat dad to my house anyways. Well, I never ever want to see you even speak to my son again. Do you understand me?
Do you have any idea what you've done? You assaulted my dad all because I told you he didn't finish high school? You realize that you've committed a crime, don't you?
You really think that anyone is going to take the side of a loser family like yours? The wedding is off, and I want you to stay far away from my family. That's an order.
An order? Excuse me? And just who do you think you are to boss me around like that? I am not your child, nor your employee. Do you understand? You're the one who committed violence over someone's education level. If you think you're in any position to start giving orders, you are out of your mind.
Don't you dare talk back to me. You're just upset because I'm not going to let you marry into our elite family. But don't blame me. Blame your dad for never making anything of his life.
You mean even after insulting the man, you still have the gall to look down on him like that? Well, don't worry. We don't want anything to do with you ever again either. We'll call the wedding off, no problem.
Well, of course you will. I ordered you to do so. Did you really think that I was ever going to let a girl from a family like yours marry my son? But like I said, don't blame me for this. You can go and complain to your dad that it's his fault.
Oh, I've gone and talked to my dad. He told me that we'd stop doing business with you.
Wait, what? What is that supposed to mean? What do you mean that you talked to your dad and he said that he would stop doing business with me?
Well, what other choice are you leaving him after what you did? After we got home, my dad called his HQ to see if we had any active contracts with your company, and he canceled them all. He told his secretary to tell your company to ask you why this was all happening.
What business are you even talking about? Why would your dad's crappy little shop be working for my company?
Wow. So you really still haven't figured it out then? I would have thought that you would just looking at my dad, but I guess you didn't recognize him.
What do you mean I didn't recognize him? Is he supposed to be famous or something? Why do you think I would have recognized some uneducated hick like him?
I guess I'll just have to come out and say it then. My dad is the company president of Carco.
Wait a second. Carco? You mean Carco as in the famous vehicle manufacturers? That company?
That's right. That's the one. And the president of that company is my dad. So what were you saying about how elite your family was again? How you were too good to let me marry your son? Because compared to my family, you're really nothing. I mean, you weren't even connected enough to recognize my dad when he was right at your door.
Now hold on just a second. Is this supposed to be some kind of joke or something? Even your dad didn't even finish high school. There's no way that he's president of a company like Carco.
You do realize that you're just digging yourself a deeper hole with every slight you make against him, right? Yes, my dad never graduated high school, but your mistake was in judging him for that.
Hold on. I just got a call from my company. They told us that Carco is canceling all their contracts with us. But then, that means Your dad is really...
That's right, I tried to warn you, but you just wouldn't listen to me. I just wish that I could be there in person to see your face right now. I bet the shock on it is just hilarious. But I'd imagine after this, you're getting fired and blacklisted from every company in the industry. Of course, what else could you really expect after acting the way you did to him?
But if we lose those contracts, then how is my company even supposed to stay open? Please tell me that you're joking. This can't be happening right now.
If you're so surprised, I wouldn't be. This is the natural outcome for someone like you. You were the one insulting my dad, and you were the one who assaulted him, and now you're paying the price for what you've done.
So then it's really true. Everything that you've been saying to me this whole time is really true?
Man, you really aren't as smart as you brag about being. Did you know that? For the last time, yes, it's true. But don't worry about canceling the marriage. I'm fine with that. I didn't want to join your family anyways. I already told Dave that I didn't want to have you as a father-in-law.
But wait, hold on. If you're really the daughter of the company president of a Carco, then please accept my humblest apologies. Of course you can marry my son, and I'm sorry that I ever gave you any doubt to the contrary.
Wow, you really turned around quickly, didn't you? But I'm afraid that's not going to work on me. I don't want anything to do with you or your family ever again. I talked to Dave and he said he was fine calling off the wedding as well.
Please wait. Don't say that. I know I said I didn't want you two to get married, but that's not my choice to make. That should be between you and my son.
I know, and I talked to your son and we said that we were calling off the engagement.
But I don't understand. Why would you do that?
Well, because I told him that if we got married, I wouldn't want to have any contact with you ever again.
Wait, so then, if you two got married, then Dave would never ever talk to me again? What did he say to that?
Well, I told him that, and he said he'd have to think about it, and I told him that I'd respect his decision. So the wedding is off.
But wait, please. Can't you just let me try and talk to your parents and smooth all this over? I'm sure that I could if you just give me a chance.
That is not going to happen. You do realize that you assaulted my dad, right? What makes you think that I'm going to arrange for a meeting for you after you've done that?
Please. I really had no idea at all who your dad was, and that was a huge mistake on my part. I realize that now. I had no idea that things were going to turn out this way.
Well, I don't see why you think that's our problem. You did this, now accept responsibility like an adult, including for the assault.
So what? You're really going to charge me for what I did? Please. I didn't think that I committed a crime or anything like that. It was just a little fight within the family, that's all.
Fight within the family? How could that be when I'm not married to your son yet? And did you really think you could get away with punching someone in the face just because they didn't finish high school?
But I mean, assault sounds so bad. I really didn't think that it would end up this way.
Just because you finally realized that you've actually done something wrong doesn't mean that anything is going to change. Besides, we've already decided that we're going to file a police report.
No, please don't do that. Why would you go to the police about this?
Because you punched my dad. Are you really not following this at all?
But if the police show up for what I did, then they might arrest me. I'll be in serious trouble if that happens.
Yeah, I mean, that is kind of the whole point of calling the police on someone. You're a criminal, and you should be punished.
Tina, please, don't do this to me. I know you might not like me, but I'm still your fiancé's father. Is this any way to be treating your elders?
Excuse me? Wow, that is really rich. But I have every right to do this because you broke the law.
I knew I shouldn't have tried to talk about this with a woman. Could you please just let me talk to your dad? This is something that should be settled between us men. We know what we're doing.
Wow, did you really think that was going to work? Did you think that jumping from elitism to sexism was going to make me want to help you?
Just tell me where your dad is. I just want to apologize to him. Isn't that what you think I should do?
I'm not going to tell you where my dad is, and frankly, I think you should just wait for the police to show up.
Please, just tell me where your dad is. This should just be between him and I.
And why would I let a criminal that assaulted my dad anywhere near him? That would just be irresponsible.
Please, stop calling me a criminal. I didn't even do anything wrong. You shouldn't be talking to me that way.
You're right. You're not a criminal yet. You have to be arrested and processed first. But then, after that, you're nothing but a criminal, and you'll have a record that will follow you forever. You'll never be able to escape it. You used to pride yourself on judging others for their education all this time. You thought you could tell all that you needed to about someone just from what schools they went to. Well, now you'll have a very different kind of record. Though, I'm not sure you'll want to brag about it.
Please, don't do this to me. You're going to ruin me. Don't you get it? What am I supposed to do? Please don't punish me for this. I didn't know.
After that, Dave reached out to me and told me about how the police arrived to arrest his dad. He told me about how his dad begged not to be taken away, but seeing as how my dad's company contributes a lot to the annual policeman's ball, the cops were all too happy to take Ron away. I know that I told Ron the wedding was off, but that was just to add a little bit more pressure to him and make him sweat. After his dad was taken away, Dave said that he talked to his mom, who was going to be getting a divorce from Ron, and that they were both going to cut Ron off and never talk to him again. While he was in jail awaiting trial, Ron got a call from his company saying that he was fired for his misconduct and for damaging the business. After his firing, my dad renegotiated the canceled contract so Ron's company wouldn't pay for his stupidity. Ron tried to reach out to Dave and ask for his help in setting everything right, but by then, the both of us had already blocked his number. I have no idea what Ron is up to now, but the wedding for Dave and I is still on schedule. The night that we were supposed to have our family meeting, Dave came to my house and apologized profusely to my dad. My dad laughed it off and said that he didn't blame Dave and that he still wanted us to get married. We both know that we've been through a lot, but we're still very much looking forward to the day when we can call each other husband and wife.
Hey James, are you at home right now? I just really wanted to talk to you about something if you had a quick moment to chat with me. I was just curious because I kind of wanted to talk to you about how dirty the house has been lately. Do you think that you could do something about that, please?
What? You want me to clean up the house? I can't believe that you're seriously asking me to do that. I'm pretty sure that's more your job than it is mine. Why in the world do you think I would even do something like that in the first place when I have a wife like you around to do it for me?
Well, I'm really busy with work, so I don't have time to clean the house as well. You do know how busy I am, don't you?
Oh, and you think I'm not busy? I have a job too, you know. You're not the only one who does anything around, you know.
I know that, but you know that I just tend to be busier than you, right? And it's not like I don't ever clean the house. I always make an effort to do something when I have the time. But I don't think it's fair that I should be the one doing anything around here. And so if you have some time right now, I would really appreciate it if you could help clean the house as well. I mean, you are the one making a mess all the time. You leave your clothes on the floor, don't put away dishes, leave empty cups all over the house. So I don't mind if you're going to do that, but if you could help clean up after yourself, that would be really great.
What the heck are you talking about, Rachel? You're the wife, so cleaning up the house is your job. Duh! How dare you even ask me to clean up when you should be the one doing it? Don't you have any sense in that head of yours at all?
I'm not trying to make you do anything, James. I'm only asking that you help me a little out more. I mean, I accept that I'll probably end up doing most of it anyways, but it would be really nice if you help me.
I already told you that I'm too busy with work to have time for any of that. Honestly, you think I have time to do all the housekeeping and do my job? Don't be ridiculous. If you're gonna treat me like this, then maybe I should just go and tell my mom about the kinds of things that you're saying to me.
I get that you're busy with work, James. I really do. But I'm just saying that I'm busier and I bring home more money.
Oh, there we go. The truth finally comes out. I knew that this was all about it. I work my butt off and try so hard, it is still not enough for you because I don't make enough money. Well, excuse me.
I'm not even trying to make this about money or anything. I'm just saying that you and I both work, and I'm the only one who helps out around here. So could you please just try tidying up a little now and then? I mean, I'm really kind of reaching the limits of patience with you, James. Besides, next week is my little brother's wedding, and I have so much I need to get ready before that happens. So I just don't have time to clean right now. So please, all I'm asking is for a little bit of help around the house. Is that really so much to ask for? You really have got some nerve, young woman. Do you even realize that? Honestly, I have no idea where you even get off. I mean, are you serious? Tracy, so lovely to hear from you. I'm sorry, but I really have no idea what this could be about. Would you care to fill me in? I heard that you were going to take time off work. Is that true? Are you really going to do something like that? Because I don't remember giving you any sort of permission to do anything like that. So just who do you think you are, huh? Permission? I'm sorry, but since when do I need permission from anyone to do something like this? It's my job and my time off that I earned. So if I want to take it, I am well within my rights too. You don't really get a say in any of it. What are you talking about? I'm your mother-in-law. You should know by now that you should always run these things by me before you just go and ask for time off. I mean, did you even check to make sure that you weren't taking time off on a day when you were supposed to be cleaning? There's a schedule for the housekeeping, and if you're not going to respect that, is even the point of having it? Besides, you know that the days when you're not cleaning the house are the days that you're supposed to be going to work and earning money for us. So don't you go talking to me as if you get to make up your schedule without worrying about anyone else has to say about it. Tracy, I'm really sorry, but I have no idea what you're talking about at all. Do you really think you can tell me what to do? I mean, what is it that you are wanting from me? I want you to know that right now you're being an absolutely terrible daughter-in-law. How dare you take time off work without asking me first? You have no right to just laze about, especially not without my permission. Tracy, you're being completely unreasonable, and I really just don't think I could talk to you at all like this. But I would really like it if you quit trying to boss me around, because quite frankly, I don't care what you have to say. I'm taking time off my work, and that is that. It's already done, and I won't be changing anything. But I never gave you the permission to do that. You can't just leave work without asking me. Are you seriously still harping on about this? Besides, I know you're just taking time off of work to go back to your hometown. Isn't that right? Well, also, you forgot to ask me permission for that anyways. Are you talking about my little brother's wedding? Because if you think I'm missing that for anything, then you're dead wrong. Besides, I did invite James to come along with me, but he said he would rather have malaria than go to my brother's wedding. So anyways, I was going to just go by myself. Fine then, but if you're going to go to this wedding, then it means that on another day, you have to take James and I on vacation. Wait, what? Why? That doesn't even make any sense. If you can't do this for me, then you don't have permission to go to the wedding. Got it? Tracy, you're really not making any sense to me right now. But anyways, I'm going to take time off of work and I'm going to go to my brother's wedding, and that is all I have to say on the matter. I really don't even understand why my doing this is so upsetting you in the first place. It just doesn't make sense. Because you didn't ask me for permission for any of this beforehand. I've already told you. You need to think about the family before you go and just run off like this. I mean, how selfish can someone get? What exactly was I not thinking about before making any of these plans? I still don't get the point that you're trying to make. You really just don't get it at all, do you? I'm your mother-in-law and you're not allowed to do anything without my permission. And if you even think of trying to cross me, then it will be the end for you. Got it? Right. Well, I guess I will keep that in mind for future reference. Thank you. But anyways, like I've said, the plans are already in place. I've already gotten the time off and I'm going to my brother's wedding. So I understand that you might have some complaints about it, but that isn't going to change the fact that I'm going to go. Alright then, I see that you make your mind. But don't say that I didn't warn you. I really would just like you to leave me alone more than anything, Tracy. Anyways, I have to get back to work now, so bye, I guess. I can't believe it. I really thought that you would have woken up and found some sense beforehand, but you really did go to your brother's wedding. How in the world did my poor son end up with such a selfish, horrible woman? But that's okay, because as of today, you're finished, completely through. Hello again, Tracy. Just what in the world could you be talking about this time? Are you still under the impression that you can tell me how to live my life? Because I don't intend to just take order from you. I work a full-time job, I keep the house clean, I'm allowed to take some time for myself and my family now and then. I mean, I don't even understand the problem that you have with me taking time off just to go to my brother's wedding. How many times are you going to make me repeat myself, Rachel? I am upset because you did all of this without my permission first. There you go again, just ignoring what I'm completely saying and what I just said to you. Well, I don't care what else you have to say to me because as of now, you and James are no longer married. I decided that I don't need a daughter-in-law who isn't going to obey me like she should, and you taking time off of work was the last straw for me. Wait a second, are you telling me that you got James and I divorced? You can't really be serious about that, right? I am very serious. It's done and there's nothing you can do about it. I really just don't even know what to say to you. I mean, what is the matter with you? You really broke up your own son's marriage all because your daughter-in-law wouldn't become your slave and follow every word? I mean, me taking time off work, using my own PTO, really made you this upset? I don't even know what to think about that. I told you that I haven't given you my permission and yet you just went ahead and did it anyways. You don't have anyone to blame but yourself this time. I warned you over and over again that the only time you shouldn't be at work is when you're at home keeping the house clean. And now you're not at work or at home, so you really left me with no choice at all to do this. You must really be one of the most selfish women that I have ever met in my entire life. But I suppose since you've already gone and sent off the divorce papers, there is really nothing at all that can be done about it now. So whatever, fine. I give up on this whole thing anyways. There's no point in trying to talk sense into you anyways. That's right, there's nothing you can do about it. I've won and you've lost, and that's it. Mwahahaha. This is what you get for running off to your little brother's wedding and ignoring what your mother-in-law has to say to you. So you don't have to bother coming home at all since you don't have a house or husband to come back to anymore. Alright then, if that's really what you want, then I won't be coming home. Good, and I never ever want to see your face again. Do you understand me? Oh, don't worry, you won't. This honestly couldn't have happened sooner. If you really want to know how I feel about it, I'll just come over tomorrow to collect my things, and then I'll be out of yours and James' lives forever. Although I'm sure that the two of you are going to have some big change that you'll need to get used to me without there. So good luck with that. Oh, please. The only things that's going to change once you're gone is how much better our lives are finally going to be. I don't need anyone but my son, and I certainly don't need some useless woman like you hanging around and dragging him down. So you're really sure that you want to do this then? I mean, you do know that James only brings up about $600 a month, don't you? Wait, what? What do you mean? That can't be right. Anyways, I guess I need to go and call some moving companies to help me get all my things from the house. But I guess I really have to thank you for finally freeing me from that dead weight that was hanging around my neck. Rachel, are you there? Please, you have to pick up the phone. I really need to talk to you. This is an emergency. Please, pick up. I don't have anything to say to you, Tracy. Not only that, but I'm at work right now and can't talk on the phone anyway. So just what is it? What could you possibly want from me now? And don't bother calling again because I won't pick up. If you want to talk to me, you can text me. Okay then, I'll just cut straight to the point. Do you think you could come and move back in with me and James, please? Wait, what? You can't actually be serious about that, right? I know that you didn't just ask me that. I realized that I may have made a few mistakes in the past. And anyways, I realized that I said some things that were wrong, and I was just hoping that you would come back here to live with us. We can just let all that bad blood that we used to have between be water under the bridge and not worry about that anymore, okay? So please come back to us? Yeah, that is going to be a very strong no from me. Thank you for the invite, though. Wait, what? What do you mean no? How can you be rejecting this? I said please. I'm saying no because I know that the only reason you want me to move back in with you both is because you're probably really behind on bills, isn't it? But if you think that I'm going to go back just because of your personal piggy bank, you have got another thing coming. Because I want nothing to do with you ever again. I have no idea what you might be talking about at all, Rachel. No, actually, that would be... I'm the one who has no idea what you're talking about. I mean, you were the one that forged divorce papers and broke up James and I's wedding. So I have no idea what you're thinking begging me to come back to you. You're nothing to me now. You're not my mother-in-law, and you're certainly not something who I feel like I owe anything to. You told me that you never even wanted to see my face again, remember? But I didn't really mean that. I just made a mistake. But I hereby formally give you permission to come back home. Now you'll come back, won't you? I never used to give two hoots about your permission, and I certainly don't care at all about them now. But you're not going to get a single penny from me, got it? This is a problem for you and James to figure out, and I want nothing to do with it. But wait, you can't just leave us like this. I mean, you know that we don't have any money to take care of ourselves. And just whose fault is that for kicking me out of the house in the first place? You're trying to say that this is all my fault, but that isn't true. I mean, I didn't even do anything to you. Yes, you did. You got James and I divorced and you kicked me out of the house. This is all your fault and you need to accept that and the fact that I'm not going to help you. But I really didn't know that James made so little money. I mean, after you told me that, I asked him about it because I thought you were just trying to scare me, but then he said it was true. Then I told him that I submitted divorce papers for the two of you, and he totally freaked out on me. He's really scary all the time, and I can't just live with this. Well, that sounds to me like you are a problem, really. Please, I had no idea that you were actually paying for everything in the house this whole time. I thought it was James giving me spending money the whole time, but it was really coming from you. That's right, and it's been like that the whole time, but you just had no idea, and I doubt you would have believed it if I tried to convince you otherwise. But how could I ever guess something like that? That was really true. I would have no way of knowing. I tried to explain to you before, actually, multiple times in fact. But every time I did, you just called me a jealous liar. But the fact that your son barely makes any money at all and you never bothered to ask him about it until it was too late. I didn't hide anything from you at all. You were just too dumb to do your homework before you went and kicked me out. But that isn't fair. How was I even supposed to know that was something I should have looked into in the first place? And it still doesn't change the fact that we don't have any money for ourselves. Well, I don't know what you want me to do about it. I already told you that you aren't going to get a cent from me. So don't bother asking. You were more than happy to live off my salary and use me to keep the house clean. And all the time, I never once got a word of gratitude. But I'm telling you that I had no idea about what the circumstances really were. And just whose fault is that? I thought that you were working so hard at cleaning the house because you knew that you didn't make enough money to be able to say anything against it. I really did think that James made more than you and that you were trying to get him to clean the house for you on top of that. Well, now you know that it was the exact opposite, not that it's going to change anything for you, you know? In fact, James doesn't even have a full-time job. He just works part-time anyways. Wait, what? Is that really true? That's right. So the fact that he's even making that much money is honestly a miracle given how few hours he works. Anyways, I don't really see the point in carrying on this conversation any further. I've told you all that you need to know. And nothing you say is ever going to make me change my mind in a million years. So you and James can have a good time figuring this out amongst yourself. Just leave me out of it. After that, I heard that the bills continued to pile up for Tracy and James, and that soon they couldn't even afford to make payments on the house anymore and they were kicked out. James was still furious at his mom and blamed what was happening all on her. He even stole what little money she had in her savings and ran off. Tracy had no choice but to go back to her hometown and beg her relatives to let her live with them. Except it was while Tracy was staying with her relatives that they learned that James had taken out some huge loans in her name before he ran off and disappeared. So not only did Tracy have every last penny stolen from her by her son, but he even took money from her that she didn't even have. I heard that when Tracy realized how she had been betrayed by her son and just how little James actually cared for her, that she fell into a deep depression and hardly even left the house. The debt problem was eventually cleared up because of the fraudulent nature of it. But even so, I don't think the damage it did to Tracy's heart ever recovered. As for James, I have no idea where he is right now. He fell off the map and is wanted for identity theft in connection to what he did to his mom. But whether he's been caught or is still on the run, whether he settled down and found a real job or is still a bum leeching of others, I just really have no clue at all. All I do know is that I'm glad to get rid of both of them and get on with my life without them. It was somewhat hard adjusting to being single after I went to my brother's wedding, but I talked to my family and they agreed to let me stay with them a while until I searched for a new place to live in. When I found one, I thanked my family and moved out. Now I'm able to concentrate on my work and on myself without people in my life expecting me to do everything for them.